What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 24 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be giving you guys an update on the best playbooks to be using in MUT 24 right now, in Madden 24, to help you guys win more games. Now, before we do that, if you're a Madden Ultimate Team player, let's quickly go over how you can get playbooks. I know a lot of you are going to be rolling your eyes right now, but trust me, believe me, when there was an issue where you couldn't purchase playbooks off of the auction house for like a month, a lot of people were like, how do I get playbooks? They literally had no idea. So again, you can always go to the auction house, you can sort by type and go over to playbooks. If you want a certain team, you can use the team filter. If you want an alternate playbook, you're either going to have to look through all of these or type in the word. So like if you want the multiple defense playbook, I would just type in multiple there, and that normally will sort it out and help you find it. But if you don't want to go out and buy the playbook, and they are mostly inexpensive, but if you happen to have a bunch of 70 overall cards in your binder, this is probably the route to go. So in item sets, you're going to go to program here and you're going to choose core set. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will see two different options. You have the alternate playbook. So this is going to give you things like run and gun, 4-6, multiple defense. But it's very important to note that you're going to get a random playbook when you complete the set. So it requires any 6 gold cards, 70 to 79 overall. You put them into the set. In return, you get a pack. The pack gives you a random alternate playbook. If you're trying to get an alternate playbook, and we are going to talk about a couple of them that are really, really good, you're probably best off buying those, because otherwise you're taking a gamble with this set and you're not guaranteed to get that. Now, if you want a team-specific playbook, whether it's offense or defense, you're going to go to the base team item set, 370 to 79 overall cards. Try to put 370s in there. In return, you get a fantasy pack that allows you to choose between uniforms, stadiums, or playbooks. I think coaches are in here as well. So this is the best route to go to get whatever playbook you're looking for. Now, we're going to use huddle.gg's playbook tool. You can always bookmark this site and see it for yourself. To go over the best playbooks in the game, I'm actually going to start on the defensive side. And to me, and this is all my opinion and you know what I see other people running as far as pros go and highly skilled players, it really boils down to 3 different playbooks. 2 of them are going to be alternate playbooks. One of them will be multiple defense. The other is going to be 4-6. So this playbook tool is really cool because you can click one and we selected multiple defense. And I'm just, for example, going to select nickel 3-3. Once I do that, it's going to show me all the plays that are in that 3-3 defense in the multiple defense playbook, but also it will tell me what other playbooks these specific formations happen to be in. So if you like nickel 3-3, but maybe you like something in the Seahawks playbook as well, you know you can then go ahead and use the Seahawks playbook. So just look for those things when choosing a playbook, and also like you can use my advice in this video, but this is a great tool to sort through the playbooks and find out what you might like or what you might be looking for. Now, multiple defense was a defensive playbook that I used for a very long time until recent, and the main reason that I liked it is because it had the 3-4 odd, which is a really good like goal line formation, the cover 4 drop. If you set different adjustments, you can blitz those outside guys that naturally drop in zones. It can definitely create a lot of pressure. I'll tell you one that, you know, can work occasionally. You don't want it to be a base offense, but pinch buck O, if your opponent's not expecting it, it absolutely screams just as is. You don't have to do any setup. So I liked it a lot because it had the 3-4 odd, and then it also had the combination of 4-3 and a nickel normal, which was my base defense for a while. Sorry, nickel over, but it kind of looks like a normal nickel defense here. I really like this one, and for me personally, I run a lot of man coverage, a lot of blitzes, things of that nature. I try to pressure my opponents into making bad decisions by sending blitzes and having everybody accounted for with man-to-man coverage. I hate sitting back in zone and just letting people pick me apart. Now, we're going to talk about abilities later this week, and deep out zone KO is a great way, a great ability to use if you run a lot of zone coverage to force knockouts and whatnot. But again, I love heavy pressure, so like Overstorm Brave, Overload Blitz were a lot of fun for me, and then we would occasionally throw in a zone, whether it was a cover 4 or some type of cover 2. Cover 3s are way too easy to beat right now between, you know, streaks up the slot there, certain crossing patterns and post routes, deep posts. So that's why I like man, and I stay away from cover 3. But this is the main reason I like the multiple defense for those formations, but mostly it was for dollar 3-2 to be exact. It had some other things there like dime. Occasionally I would use with just like a cover 2 man here, or the DB blitz is really good, but you can find dime in a lot of playbooks. I mainly ran it because it had the nickel over, it had the 3-4 odd, and then it had your dollar blitz or your dollar formations. And one of the plays in this playbook specifically, which is going to be cover 2 press, if you've been playing people who run this formation and you see that A-gap blitz from the middle linebacker, this is basically what they're doing. And it doesn't really take a ton to set up. You really just got to like pinch your defensive line and set your outside zone drops to cover however you like to cover. But that blitzer coming in naturally, and it doesn't really work with other plays in this formation. The cover 2 press, for whatever reason, is a really, really good and meta blitz. Just to counter it, if you guys were unaware, slide protect to the right. That tends to stop it for the most part. It will still come through eventually or occasionally, but it is, you know, a really, really good blitz. On huddle.gg, there's various game plans. It is a subscription service. We'll leave our link down below in the comments section as a pinned comment if you want to sign up and check it out. You get a lot of access to a lot of different ebooks, offense and defense, for $9.99. You can subscribe monthly. You can try it out for 1 month. It's up to you. But that particular play out of the dollar formation is only in multiple defense and 4-6. So let's transition over to the 4-6 playbook. And this one is very similar to multiple defense. I think the biggest difference is it doesn't have the 3-4 odd. It does have some 4-6, 3-4 bear, 4-4 split. You don't see a ton of people running that for whatever reason, but the main reason people like the 4-6 defensive playbooks is because it gives you the $3-2, which we just talked about, and it also gives you big nickel over G, which is a really good formation. And for the most part, over the last about 30 days or so, has kind of been my base defense. I get a lot of questions, whether it's on my TikTok videos. Obviously, when I'm live streaming, people ask what playbooks I'm in, and also I see it in the comment section. I run a lot of big nickel over G, and primarily the play that I'm running is going to be strong safety linebacker blitz. I tend to put these two guys that are blitzing either in coverage, in a zone, or switch up their man coverage and drop back my safeties into coverage, or I'll just send out the all-out pressure. But I run this play probably like 90% of the time based off of my opponent's formation, and I adjust accordingly based on what they're doing. So I'm pretty much not always running the same exact play because it looks different a lot of times, and that's, you know, a way to kind of trick your opponents in there, to making bad reads, to not know when the blitz is coming and whatnot. And because I was running a lot of nickel and I really like the dollar, I actually decided to go to, and again, those are the two alternate playbooks I would recommend if you like what you see there, 4-6 and multiple defense. But I switched over to the Kansas City Chiefs defense mainly because they had this big nickel over G, what I was looking to run, but they also have the popular 6-1 defense. Now, I don't run it, but you've probably played online a bit and probably seen a lot of people run it, and I wanted it in my playbook just in case I needed to use it. And I use it occasionally, maybe like 3% of the time, but it's there for me, and this is probably going to be the best base team defensive playbook in the game because you do get that 6-1, whether you're running the cover 4 or the Sam Will blitz. Both of those can really generate pressure or trick your opponent when you're dropping back in coverage. They're not really going to expect it there. So it's got the 6-1 there. It's got some other 4-3 stuff there. It's got the nickel over, which is what I was running out of the multiple defensive playbook earlier in the year. So I still have access to all that. And then I have my big nickel over G, and I have $3-2, and I have the dime where we talked about those dime blitzes. So to me, this is the best playbook in the game, and it's going to be very easy to obtain whether you buy it off the auction house or you go through that upgrade set like I showed you in the beginning of the video. Bengals offensive playbook, one we recommended at the beginning of the year. If you followed any of the Madden Bowl or MCS competitive league, Gabagool, who's a popular player who made it pretty far and has won a lot of games, this is his primary offensive playbook. He runs a lot of trips formation, so you got tight Y off, sorry, not tight Y off, tray open, you got tray Y flex, you got Y trips here. This one also has a good set of bunch, so if you're, again, trying to go off meta, you're probably not going to want to pay attention to a ton of this video. I'm going to talk about plays that work at the end of the day, but bunch halfback strong, this is the one that you're seeing a lot of MCS players run as well. We'll show it in some other playbooks, but it's a bunch where the the running back is on the same side as the 3 receivers in the bunch, which can open up a lot of different things, and it's kind of hard to attack from a defensive standpoint because if that halfback goes out on a option route or any type of route in general, you now got 4 receivers on one side of the field, and it's very tough to defend all of that. So this has really good plays to beat man coverage, to beat zone coverage, and that's why you see a lot of the pros running it. And they got your standard bunch offset, which is going to have a lot of the popular plays. I love corner out dig. You motion out this little receiver over here, and if you throw it right with a pass lead and free form it, he's going to beat the sideline almost every time. It's very difficult to stop. Speed dig is really good against man and zone. Of course, verts is always going to be very popular. Z-spot, you streak this outside receiver, and you got yourself a little flood concept there with a quick read to the flat, a streak, and of course a corner route. We know corner routes are always good in Madden Ultimate Team. So I think Bengals is better, more so for trips, but it does have some pretty good bunch plays in there as well. I haven't compared them play for play, but I'm pretty sure the Colts and the Eagles playbooks are exactly the same, mainly because Shane Steichen left from Philadelphia over to the Colts prior to this year starting out, and so that playbook stayed the same for both players. So Henry runs Eagles. I'm pretty sure John Beast runs Eagles. There's a lot of great plays in here, and the most important one, or the main one here, is if you go into bunch, and specifically we're looking at gun bunch offset, it has the double post play. So I'm sure a lot of you who have played this game enough have ran into this play. It's definitely a headache to stop because you can run it stock, you can quick snap it really quick. It's gonna get open the majority of the time. That tight end that kind of goes out and up, he tends to cross man coverage. Both of those posts, I mean, it's called double posts for a reason, are really good. You got the quick check down there to the running back, which tends to beat man coverage. So this is a very popular play, and this play alone is the big reason why you see a lot of pros use this playbook. The only two playbooks that have it are the Colts and the Eagles, by the way. Dig return, which is directly next to it, is really good for the red zone. That outside receiver that kind of slants upward, does a zig route and goes back out, is really good, gets open in the red zone a lot. And then if that's user covered, that in route that's at the top of the bunch formation tends to find the back of the end zone fairly well, and you always got the quick dump off if it's wide open to throw to your tight end in the flat. So if you like to run bunch, if you like to pass the ball a lot, definitely take a look at the Colts or the Eagles playbook. They're exactly the same. The final offensive playbook we're going to go with is the Jets, and this is the one that I've been in pretty much since day one, and I'm still in it now. A couple of the pro players in the MCS, I think Kiv runs it. I'm pretty sure TJ runs it. A handful of them do. So this one, whether you like to run or you like to pass, is extremely versatile. There's so many good formations in here. If you are a runner, take a look at some of the single back formations. Tight double, tight Y-off flex, very, very good. In the tight Y-off flex, I have a little like mini run scheme that I like to run because there's the adaptive AI, and if you run the same running play too many times in a row, your opponent's defense will key in on it. So I like to mix things up between the 0-1 trap is really good. Halfback zone weak. I haven't been using it as much lately, but it always really got good blocking for me. You have the wide zone, which is basically like a stretch out of this type formation. And also, I'm not a big fan of like the auto motion runs, but inside zone split is pretty good. And if you want to mix in some passes, PA deep out is really good because of the zig and the in. And if you happen to have hot route master, you can get creative with a couple posts and corner routes there. And the Z under curl is really good for beating man coverage as well. So that's one of the main formation I like in the Jets, but I play out of shotgun a lot. And the main reason I'm still in this playbook is because we have the regular bunch. We got the bunch strong offset, which has that running back on the same side as the bunch. Corner strike, really good. If you were noticing, a lot of people were doing double corner routes in the Madden Bowl. This is the main play that they did it out of. So if you have either hot route master or a slot apprentice, you would take this guy who goes in and put him on a post. That would create the double post over here. You would streak this tight end to go upward and then streak the outside receiver. So they kind of clear out the middle, and you always have this little quick route to the running back, which crushes a lot of coverages. Flood is really good to get over those deep zones. It's much deeper than a standard corner route, so I go to that one when I'm facing like a 6-1 defense, assuming that the blocking can hold up. That corner route beats a lot of zone coverages down the field. Wide trail is great against man coverage. It absolutely smokes it. If you put this running back on a wheel route and either drag the guy who normally has a corner route and put the outside receiver on a flat. So just a lot of different options here. In that one, the regular bunch is really good there. I use a ton of it. 5-1-8 hook, the corner dig out. We talked about deep corner is great. You streak this guy, you got that flood concept with a streak here, a corner here, and then a flat route there. We talked about dig return for red zone offense. Mesh spot is really good. Kind of similar to that play we looked at in the West Coast bunch. Not exactly, but if you happen to have hot route master, you can kind of get that to work. Speed dig is another one, obviously vertical. So a lot of variety there in the bunch, but also the main reason I was kind of attracted to it initially is because I ran a lot of tight formations last year, and this one has tight doubles that I don't really use a ton, but it is pretty good. But it also has tight offset, which has a few plays in the Saints playbook from last year. Drive out was really good last year. I love slot outs here. We put this guy on a post, and you got a nice little angle post combination that crushes man coverage. And if they don't leave safety help over the top, those two streaks usually beat it. Z spot really good, Y out really good. So again, I love the versatility in this one, where anytime that I'm playing, I can go to bunch, I can go to tight. There's some good trip stuff in here as well, and I really love spread double flex. I don't know what it is about this, but this formation has a lot of stuff in there that I run to as well. When I'm trying to spread out the defense, they're compact. We can hit those outside routes. We can stretch the field a bit with this, and you can attack both the left and the right side no matter what hash mark you're on. So go check out the Jets. I think it's the most balanced playbook, the most versatile, has a lot of good running in it and a lot of good passing, tons of popular formations, and those are the best playbooks right now to be using in MUT 24 to help you guys win more games. Let me know what playbooks I left out, what playbooks you're rocking down below in the comment section, and thank you for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out.